Hello everyone, welcome back to AndroHub channel. Today we are going to learn how to set up the Git in Android Studio. So what basically the Git is? Git is an open source distributed version control system for tracking changes in any set of files. So here distributed means that the repository or the code base can be cloned or copied onto the developer's system so that he can work on it. Git has a branching model. It means that you can work on the multiple local branches which are independent of each other, and the code base will be different as well. With the Git, you also have heard about the GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, etc. So what are they? They are the companies that provide hosting for the Git repositories, and they also provide some external features as well to collaborate between the teams. Now we will see how to set up the Git in Android Studio, and we'll see how to create the repository and how to work with the Git. Okay, so first I have already one project on the Android Studio. So I'm going to go on the preferences. In the preferences, I'm going to go to the Git inside the version control. Okay, so here you have to click on the test. So while clicking on the test, it will tell you the Git version, what are the Git version you are having on your system. And if you don't have the Git version, then you can directly go to the git-sem.com, and over there you can download the particular Git version from there. Okay, since I've already connected, now the next thing is you have to go to the VCS, and after going to the VCS, we have to enable the version control integration. Okay, so here we have to select the Git only, click OK. On clicking of the OK button, if you see the file colors got changed, so it means the Git has been initialized. Now what you can do is you can just open the terminal from the bottom, and you can just write the command git status. So it will list all the files which are untracked or you have to commit it. Means the files got changed but you haven't committed yet. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is we need to go to the GitHub. And if you don't have any account, just create it, or if you already account, just sign into the GitHub. So I'm just going to sign in. Okay, description is optional, so it has the option to public and private. So I'm selecting the public one only, and after that you can initialize the repository with the readme or anything else. I don't want to select anything. I'm just going to go ahead and create repository. Okay, now after creating the repository, it will ask you to perform some task. So here you can create a new repository on the command line. You can do from his or push an existing repository from the command line. So let's suppose you have already repository on your system and you have to push the repository to the GitHub. So since I already have the repository over here, so the second thing I am going to use, so just copy this command, open the terminal and just paste it and hit enter button. So now this the current repository has been integrated with the connected with the particular URL. So now I'm going to commit the files and I'm going to push the code. So before committing, we need to check the git ignore file. So what is a git ignore file? So let's suppose you have some files that you don't want to commit and push it to the cloud. So that files you can add it over here. Okay, so by default it will add this much file. So let's suppose if I'm going to create any new directory or anything else and I don't want to add that file on the commit, and so I can add it over here. So if I'll show you, you just have to, it will give you suggestions as well, .idea, so it is giving suggestions as well, right? So instead of like right now it's only selecting the caches and that also. I'm going to remove the other things and the whole idea directory I've added to the git ignore. Okay, so and you can find the git ignore inside the app directory as well. So if you have some files that you don't want to track, so you can add it over here as well. Okay, now I have to commit the files git add dot. So first thing we have to add the files to the git. Okay, so they have been added. Now I am going to uh, run this git status command. So if you see, it's showing me changes to be committed. That means these files have been added to the git. Now I'm going to commit it. So to commit it, we have to run this command git commit -m, and inside the inverted commas we have to give the commit message. So I'm going to give the initial commit, enter. So if you see, all the files have been committed and added to the git. Now if I'm going to run the status command again, so if you see, it says me nothing to commit. Okay, so that means my files are already committed, and if you see, my files color got changed from red to black again. Okay, now I'm going to push this code to the GitHub. So to do that, git push origin master. So here the master will be your branch where you are going to push your code. Okay, and if you see at the bottom here also, it says master. Okay, so git push, just click on enter. So it is asking me for the username because I haven't authenticated with the GitHub in the Android Studio, so I have to provide me the username. Now the password. So it's giving me invalid username or password because I have enabled the two-factor authentication. So first thing I have to disable it, then I have to authenticate it again. So just give me a moment. Okay, so I have disabled the two-factor authentication. So now I think it should work. Okay, yeah. So now if you see, it's writing the object, so it's done. Now if I'm going to go there and if I'll refresh this page, then if you see, my code is here, right? So and my commit message is initial commit. Now I can go to the this one, and it will tell me like, this is my initial commit, this is my commit message, and all the files I've added to the on this commit. Okay, now let's say I have to do some changes on my code. Okay, so I'm just going to add some comments in my code, and after that I'm going to push it again. Okay, so I've added few comments in my code. So now if you see, the files which are already committed and are on the cloud, if I'll do any code changes on those files, then it will show me the in the blue color. Okay, if you see the activity main.xml, it is in the black color, and the my application.java is in the blue color. So that means the code changes happen in that class. Okay, now, and if I want to check where exactly the code changes happen, so if you see over here and the green line, so this is the code change happened over here. Okay, so I can easily find, and if I go to the main activity, so that means here the code changes happened. And if I want to see what was the previous code on over here, so I can just click it over here, and on clicking on the rollback lines, it will roll back to the previous code. Okay, now I'm going to commit it. Now the previously I committed from the terminal, now I'm going to commit from the toolbar. So vcs git, from here commit. Here it will tell me how many files got changed, and it will also show me what was the previous thing and what was the changes happened over here. Okay, so now I'm going to comments added. I'm just giving the commit message. I'm going to commit it. Now it's asking me the okay. It's asking me to git username is not defined. So it means whenever you are going to configure the git, that time you have to also provide your username and the email as well, so that whenever you are pushing your code to the cloud, it should know from which user and email ID the code has been pushed. Okay, so I'm just going to provide my email ID, set and commit. So if you see 4 files committed, now I'm going to push the code. Click on the push on the master branch only, push. Okay, so it's done. Now I'm going to go here and refresh it. Now if you see Sonu Surinder comments added. So here it will show you all the history on which files got changed. Okay, so plus plus means the code has been added, and here also plus plus means code has been added, and so all the it will tell me in how many files the code has been changed. Okay, now if you want to see how the VCS flow is happening in the Android Studio over here, so you can directly go to the Git. Here on the console, it will show me all the logs related to the Git, and if you see like the initialization has been happened over here, and after that all the things which I did after that, and at the end if you see like 4 files have been added and 15 insertion has been done. And if you go to the logs, so over here it will tell me my first commit was initial commit, after that comments added, and how many files got changed, and from here as well. Okay, and it will tell me how many branches I have over here in the local and the master and the remote one, and the pull request will show how many pull requests you have. So for that you have to log in to the GitHub over here. Okay, and if I'm going to do any changes over here, let's suppose, so if you see it will show me all the local changes over here. Okay, and if I'm going to click on over here, it will tell me previously it was database and this AJJ added after that. So I can roll back from here, so it will take me to the previous thing. Okay, and let's suppose if you want to directly compare your class with the remote git repository, so you can directly click on the right git compare with branch. So I'm going to compare with the origin master branch. So if you see, the left hand side is your branch on the remote, and the right hand side will be your master branch which is on the local. So it will tell you the difference between both the classes. You can click over here and it will say you the contents are identical. And one more thing is you can click on the annotate. So the annotate will tell you like this Android, these are the username. Okay, so whomsoever developer is working on that code, and the code is committed by him or pushed by him, so his username will be reflected over here, so you can check who has done the code changes over there. Now let's suppose I'm working on some code changes. Okay, I'm just doing some code changes over here to access the employee DAO. Okay, let's suppose some urgent requirement came, and since I'm working on this code, I have to roll back each and everything. So instead of undoing everything, you can do one thing: just go to the VCS Git and stash your changes. And the message you can give like mm, complete changes and just create stash. So if you see, it will take the all classes to the previous state, and now the urgent requirement, you can do it over here. You can commit it and push it to the cloud, and once everything is done, you can just unstash your changes, and it will show you all the stash changes over here. You can select the everything. On clicking it, apply stash, it will take me to the previous code over here. Okay, now the next thing is we can create the branches out of the existing branches. So let's suppose I have the master branch. I can create on the new branch. Let's suppose development branch. So if you see, right now I'm on the development branch, and I have the another branch name is master as well. So the code which I'm going to do it over here will not be reflected on the master branch. So that is called the branching model provided in the Git. So that means we have the two branches, and we can do the coding on both the branches, and the code will be different for both the branches. And one more thing is like whenever you're working on some code, so just make an habit to commit your changes on the daily basis, and whenever you're pushing your code to the branch, just take a hold from it. So here the navigation between the branches is very easy. Like if I want to go to the back to the master branch, I can go it over here. Okay, and if I want to go to the development branch, I can go, and if I want to delete it, I can delete it as well. Now one only one branch is there. This is how we can set up the Git in Android Studio, and we can connect our existing repository to any GitHub repositories. Now let's suppose we have already a repository on GitHub, and that repository we don't have in our local machine. So let's take one example. So I'm going to clone this branch. So for to clone the branch, you can come over here. Here you will get the link. Just copy this link, and after that just come to the Android Studio. Over here just go to the file, new, project from version control, and here you have to provide your URL, and here you have to give your path where exactly you want to clone it. After that, click on the clone, and the clone is successful. Now it will ask you on which window you have to open. So I'm going to open in the new window. Yeah. So the project has cloned, and it has been opened to the new window. So it will take some time to build the project. Okay, so the project is synced. Now if I have to make any changes on any file, so let's suppose I'm just increasing the version. Okay, so version is increased. Now if you see, it will tell me what is the previous version and what is the current version. So this will only tell me if my current project is already have the Git initialized. Okay, now I'm going to commit the changes. and version increased, commit and push from the master branch to the master branch, push. It is successful. Now let's go to the GitHub and let's see. See, the version increased, the commit has come. Now I'm going to click on the commit message, so it will tell me on the build.gradle, the previously it was the 1.0 and now it has changed to the 1.1. So that means the code has successfully came to the cloud. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. If you're using Bitbucket, GitLab or any other thing apart from the GitHub, so mostly the functionalities and the operations are basically the same. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe.